Hi guys, Colin James Polder here once again, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay guys, if you remember, I did a couple of videos on the service and repair part 1 and part 2 of this Pioneer CT450 cassette deck. I gave it a good clean, put a new belt set on it and calibrated it all, put the oil where necessary and some switch cleaner where necessary, and it's turned out it's a really nice cassette deck. The reproduction is awesome, so I've decided not to sell it because I was going to put it on eBay. It was very kindly given to me for nothing. I was after one with the piano type keys, you know, the buttons here, and VU meters rather than LED. But you know, since I was given it, I thought, well, you know, I'll do it up, flog it on eBay and get one of, you know, a piano key and VU meter style cassette deck. But it didn't happen, and it's I decided to keep it. So on eBay I did find a nice Sony. Right, here we go guys. How about this then? It's a Pioneer, sorry, sorry I swore at you then, Sony. It's a Sony stereo cassette deck and it says TC K22, and it is in really nice condition. I mean, look, hardly any scratches. It's got twin VU meters, which it would have because it's stereo, duh. It's got the VU meters, which I love, because this is what we used to have back in the day, and it's got the piano style controls there, and it is in really nice condition. Now this is on eBay. I won it for 20 quid. Now bearing in mind these cassette decks date back to the late 70s, early 80s, anyone you buy from that era, if it hasn't already been done so, it's going to need a belt set guys, so just be wary of that. Now I haven't plugged this in yet, mainly because it's got the American style plug on it, but it is 240. I've looked at the back and checked that, so that's fine. The case is in really good condition, you know, both the sides and the underneath as well. It's quite nice. So, you know, bearing in mind it's over 35 years old ish, it's in really nice condition. So I'm going to do this one up now to keep. Some of the keys I noticed that really stiff. That pause is really stiff, so I'm going to lubricate them. The heads look nice. Again, doesn't look like there's much wear on the heads. Let's get the camera in there, and let's have a look, see if we can. There we go. Yeah, not too bad at all actually. Could do the clean. Maybe a demagnetise. So anyway, one thing I did notice, you see that there, I thought, oh my god, the chassis bent, because you couldn't quite see that view on the listing on eBay, but it turns out it's part of the design. How unusual. See where that comes along there and goes down? Well, there's a plastic strip under there, which obviously keeps it from, you know, I guess touching whatever it's sat on. I assume it's to make room for some, you know, the way this when you push the play down, perhaps there's something that comes down. Don't have a look at that. Anyway, yeah, Marcus Fuller, you say this, I'm going to say it. It's screwdriver time. I'm going to pop the lid off and take a look inside and see what condition the belts are in. Well, here we go, we're inside, and there's a little bit of, wherever it's been, there's just a little touch of damp on the cable there. There's no sign of any rust or corrosion anywhere, which is good. The circuit board looks okay, looks nice. Just have a look around some of the caps. I mean, first glance, when a cap usually goes, they swell up, and some capacitors have got like a little serration going across like that, and when they swell up, that just lets it alleviates a little bit of the pressure. But I mean, oh come on guys, this thing's 35 years old, so you know it's not going to be perfect, but it is really nice. There's a control board there for the motor. Now that's come unstuck from its glue there, but it's not damaged. It's the motor. Yeah, look, if I try and turn the motor, guys, you don't want to go, look, just turning the edge of the motor, and the belt has had it, the belts have had it. But luckily, they don't look all tarry like the ones that were in the Pioneer. I'm just looking for the tape counter belt. There it is. Tape counter belt looks okay. There should be. There's a belt there. There's like a. I'm getting a bit closer. That actually looks alright. I might change that anyway. Cool. I'll tell you what, guys. That capstan roller is absolutely solid. That's absolutely solid. That's going to need sorting out. Now it's really strange because this has got the American style plug on it, and I don't know, I'm sure in the listing he said that it fast forward, rewinds and plays okay, but it can't do because that is solid. I'm going to recheck the listing because this thing won't have worked properly at all. Anyway, it's going to need a new belt set, and then I've got to free up this capstan pulley because that's solid. Got to put some. Let's have a look. Oh, looks like there's a pulley thing going on there with a. I don't know. Not sure about that. Not sure what that does at the moment. But anyway, good thing is the motor turns. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a plug. So I'm going to replace this with a 3-pin plug. Here's the inputs and outputs. Again, they look pretty mucky, so I'm going to clean all that up and the cables, and just give it a little bit of a clean, and then I'll come back to you. A couple of things I've noticed, guys. You see that capstan pin coming through there? That doesn't look perfectly 90 degrees to pinch holder for some reason. And I'll tell you why, shall I? Right, if you look at the capstan pulley flywheel, I'll move that belt out of the way. If you look down there, I don't really quite see it. Let's see if we can get some light on it, shall we? Right, let's have a look, see what we can do. There we go. Right. Right, I'm just getting down. Right. You see that pin at the bottom? That is supposed to be in that plastic retainer there. See how the capstan pulley is over to one side? This deck's either been dropped on this end, or somebody's been in here and forced that over, because that's why that is stuck solid. See, you can hardly move it. Ah dear. Right, so that's I've got to sort that out. So, well, like I said, I'm going to get a plug. I'm going to cut this old belt off. This belt's absolutely had it. It's doof. So I'm going to cut the belt off, put a plug on, and come back to you. Alright guys, I've done what I did before. I've just grabbed one of these plugs, just push the wires in the end. Do not try this at home. It's very dangerous, but that holds. It's good enough to check out to see whether this cassette deck actually powers on. Now I've taken the old main flat belt out. Actually it came out better than the Pioneer cassette deck, because the Pioneer one, as you saw in, I think it's part 1 of the video when I was cleaning up, it was really tarry, but this is okay. It's just stretched and perished. So yeah, we'll have to order a new belt set for this. But anyway, let's see if it powers up, shall we? Get ready for the bang. Ah, nice. I do like VU meters, guys. The mount is spinning, making a little bit of a noise, but no, it's quite strong. Yeah, like I said before, some of these motors are a little bit noisy when they're freewheeling and the bearings aren't under load, so that'd be fine. Can't really check out anything else, guys, at this moment in time because I need a belt, and like I say, I've got to fix that capstan flywheel because for some reason, like I said before, you can see it there that it's supposed to be 90 degrees to that plate, but it's been knocked off its support, which is really odd. This mechanism around here is for the soft eject. Let me just show you what I mean. Let's take the old Husky out here. Been using him to prop the deck up. Right, so if I push the eject button, watch what happens. There you go. That's all it is. It's just a soft damping mechanism for the doors, that's fine. Right. There's not much I can do without a belt set. I've got to do that capstan flywheel. I've got to get him back in, so it's a case of stripping that down. But yeah, no smoke, no surprises. We do know, well, we can already tell if I power it down. See that left channel twitch? That's just twitching because of the load off voltage. But the right one doesn't, so like the guy said in the listing on eBay, the right channel, apparently sound comes out of it, but the needle doesn't move with the music, so it could be a dirty potentiometer here. You can't tell until it's all up and running, to be honest with you. Right, let's see if I can get that capstan straightened up and be right back with you. Well, I've got the cassette door off and it's really nice. There's not a scratch or anything on that. It's a really nice thick acrylic door. That's great. The only thing is, you see down here, let's see if I can go into it. Right, there's a lug there, and there is supposed to be a lug there, but unfortunately it's broken off. I took the door off and that was just sat in there, so it's not something that I've just done, it's something that has been done and not really been noticed until I've tried to take the door off. Now I think I can glue that back on with super glue, because you know you don't take these doors off very often, guys. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue that piece back in there. I've got the door off, so I can do what I did with the Pioneer. I can undo a couple of screws. I think there's 2 screws underneath. There's one there and one that side. I'm not sure what that little one is, but check that. So there's those 2 main screws there to undo. A couple in the top here. Now looking at it, if I just move these little bits over out the way for a second, and just turn him round, I'm thinking there's just one screw there in the middle of the screen and one on the other side. Where are we? Oh, further over, there we go. And I think, like in the Pioneer, once we've disconnected this spring down here, see him? That's for the record and play circuits. And I think once we've disconnected that, I think again, like the Pioneer, this whole deck will come out, and then I can get at it, give it good service, clean it up, get this capstan back in its right place. I mean, this plate here will have to come out at some point to get the belt on, the new belts on. So yeah, right, I'm going to glue that lug back in on the front there, on the door, and get this out and be right back. Yeah, I'm using the camera because I can see better through the screen of the camera than I can with the naked eye. I put a little bit of super glue on the cassette door, and I'm just going to stick this little bit back in like so. Okay, that is in exactly the right position, exactly where I want it. So that's good. So we'll let that go off, and then we'll tackle the job of actually getting this cassette unit out. And as always, be right back. Right, so there's a big hole in the front there now, as you can see, and I have the mechanism out quite successfully. It wasn't too bad. I've got to be a bit careful, or just be wary, guys. There's some wires there. Right hand side is the record play head, and the right hand side there, did I say right? I'll try that again. The left hand side, pink wires, is the record play head, and the right hand side there is the erase head. So just be careful when you're manoeuvring this around, you know, that you don't stress those wires too much. Now as I said before, that capstan flywheel wasn't sitting at exactly 90 degrees to the chassis. It's because it's jumped out, or been forced out of this location. This little kiddie here, this has got like a bearing in it, and it's jumped out of that. So it looks like there's there's a screw there, and there's a screw over here. If we undo those, and there's one just behind here, undo him, I'm pretty sure that whole assembly will come away. Just got to unhook there's a little gizmo there, which is the eject, so that will just come away, and hopefully we'll be able to have a look under there and see what's going on with that capstan flywheel. Okay, we have the capstan flywheel and the capstan pin. As you can see, it's got a little bit of muck on it, a little bit of corrosion there, which will obviously clean off. So the belt's got to go around. The rest of it looks to be okay. The deck itself looks good. There's no rust or anything going on. There's no particular surprises in there. That looks all nice and clean. So we're progressing well. And there's the pulley. So you can see how the whole thing just comes apart, and it's easy to get stuff out. I had to remove the soft eject mechanism. Had to take him out so I could get the, let's see if the camera will focus on that bit. There we go. that's just the door damper. So yeah, to come out. Right, so I'm going to clean up the capstan flywheel and pin, and then put that back together. I mean, I will have to take it apart again when the belt set comes, but I'd rather put it together for the moment just to keep all the bits in one place and safe. Right, so I've got the capstan pin flywheel back where it should be. I don't know why I'm getting this exposure thing coming up on the camera. That's better. Right, so I've got the capstan flywheel back in. Now this plate has just got to go back on now. So if we can get that in position. I think that's it. Are we in the can't speak. Are we in the right place? I think we are. But it's like I said before, guys, it's really difficult to operate the camera and put things together at the same time. But I'm going to put that plate on, screw it down, and be right back to you. So I've got my trusty Allen keys out now, because the level controls on the front here are aluminium, which is quite nice, and they're secured by an Allen key. So let's undo this one, and then undo that one, because I'm going to give these a bit of a clean, which is quite nice. And then it comes off, and that one comes off, and that's really nice aluminium, guys. Yeah, I do like that. So I'm going to give them a clean, and I'm going to give the front of this deck a complete clean as well. I mean, down here, I think I showed you before, you can see some dirt. That'll come off. Right, it's cleaning time. Well, guys, the progress so far, it's looking really nice. It's cleaned up really well. Yes. Okay, so in the listing, the seller said that the right VU meter wasn't working, although sound was coming out of the left and right channels fine, but this right meter wasn't moving, and the left one does. Well, what I noticed is that, I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you look at the left needle, there is a very small gap between the needle and the gradients there. I couldn't think of the word. Gradients, level, graphics, if you like. Well, anyway, you can see there's a little gap between the needle and the back, but on this one there is no gap. The needle is actually touching the back of the readout there, so I think that's stopping it from moving freely. So what we've got to do now is we've got to find a way of actually making that, you know, getting the needle off the front face. If I power it down, watch. See, the left one will twitch as normal, but the right one just stays as it is. Now that's a good indication that that needle is stuck. So what we're going to have to do is to take this front panel off, which is obviously those two Allen screws. Okay, there's a screw there and there's a screw there, and underneath, if I just switch this off a second, underneath there is a screw there in the centre of the screen, and there is a screw right there, and I think this whole front panel will come off. So we'll do that quickly. Right, let's get this one off. There we go. I've only just put these back together. I just looked at that needle and I thought, do you know what, that's pretty close to its background. Right, again, because I've only got one pair of hands here, that's it, that comes off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the 4 screws that I showed you guys, and then I need 2 hands for the next bit, so I'll come back to you. Well, I've got the front panel off, guys, and I've managed to fix the VU meter needle. If I can get you in, there we go. Now you see the right in the center of the picture there's like a black dot, if you like. Well, that piece of metal there, which looks like sort of it's got a radius on one end, it's right in the middle of the picture. I can't quite point to it, but my finger's right on it there. Now that is a little plate, and in that plate there is an insert. Inside there there's a little tiny hole which supports the axle of this needle. Now at the moment I've managed to free it up. There you go, look at that. That needle was really tight before and it wouldn't move, purely and simply because the centerpiece was clamped too tight on the axle of the needle, so it wouldn't move, and now it does. It's weird because you could never even if it had a hard drop, would that small amount of metal compress the needle shaft so much that it would make it tight? I don't know. It's like this down in here, and you can see the capstan flywheel, this part here, that was off to one side on an angle. It had completely come out of its bearing support at the back. Now I would say that this cassette deck has had a serious drop on the floor, maybe. But there's no physical evidence on the chassis or the cover to suggest that it's dropped, unless it dropped and hit flat. I don't know, but that certainly is a weird one. Anyway, I'm going to put it back together. What I'll do is I'll elevate the front so you can see how it sort of slotted in, and then, I mean, hey guys, I doubt if you've ever had a cassette deck like this, but if you do have this problem, then you can just follow this video. But that is really strange. So what I did, I just got a non-magnetic screwdriver and just prised that out a little bit. So now we've got a nice free needle. Right, so like I said, I'm going to put that back in, and I'll show you how it goes back in. Just put my pen lid back on. That's the only trouble with doing this, it's all one-handed. Right, so basically this assembly goes in, this assembly here goes into the hole like that. We just push that back. There we go. Just make sure the needle's clear, which it is. It looks good. Yeah, it seems okay. I will have to calibrate that side now that I've manipulated a little bit. I think it's slightly off, not much, but then again it's only a rough estimate of the voltage units going onto the tape or playing back off. It's not an accurate thing, you know, just gives you a rough idea of where zero is. Okay, so that's back in, and then we've got this little cover here, same as it is over this side, and it just clips in basically. That just goes up slightly like that, and then this clips over the top. Obviously I need 2 hands to do this. That just pushes over there. Okay, and then there's 2 clips here that locate under there. Look. Right, let's get that on then. Okay guys, just running a test on the 2 meters, and I think I fixed it. Here we go. There you go. Both the left and right move fine now. So all I've got to do is calibrate that, but I'll do that later on. But that's fixed. We can get the front cover back on now. The other thing I've just done with this is, do you remember earlier on in the video when we first looked at this cassette deck, there was like a sort of smiley mouth underneath the controls there. You know, here's a little reminder of what it looked like. And I thought, well, surely that isn't part of the design, is it? Because nothing, you know, nothing comes down underneath that level on the bottom of that, no matter which key you press. And why would it be designed like that? So anyway, I've straightened it up, looks like much better. That is another mystery of this deck. So yeah, let's carry on. Right, that is it then, guys. I've got the faceplate back on, and I've put the control knobs back on, so that's good. And as you can see, these are lovely VU meters there. I just love that green display. If I turn it off, you can see that the right hand one now works. Hopefully when I get the belts and that and play a take through, that'll work lovely. So there you go, I've ordered a belt set for it. Good old eBay. You can still get the belts for these old cassette decks, which is great, because this particular deck you're looking at, I looked it up on Google, it's first manufactured in 1980. So it's 41 years old. I think that's right. Yes, 41 years, guys. That's not bad for 41 years old, is it? Right, so the other little mod I was going to do is I'm going to put a green LED in the cassette compartment, so basically you can see at a glance where the cassette tape is, how much is on whichever spool, and it looks nice as well. So yeah, this is part one. Part two will be fitting the belts, which means that this cassette deck unit's got to come out, and the capstan flywheel, the plate at the back holds that on, it's got to come away so I can get the belts in. There's only two belts for this deck. One is the tape counter, and the other one is the capstan flywheel. That's it. Yes, good. Right, so I hope you've enjoyed this video and maybe learnt a little bit of, you know, what to do if you buy an old cassette deck, you know, for replacing the belts and other little bits and pieces. I enjoy making them, and I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that like, and hit the bell icon, and then every time I put a video up like this, you'll get a notification. And yeah, I'll catch you all in part two as soon as the belt set arrives. Cheers then, guys, thanks a lot, bye.